Hi, guys. Welcome to CNN 10. Today is March 26th, so we're going to see what's going on in the world.
A city in Alaska is the second stop in our series on virtual vacations because fewer people are taking actual vacations. It's coming up in just a few. I'm Carl Azus for CNN 10, and we're thankful you're watching. Stimulus is the word in Washington, District of Columbia. The U.S. Congress and the White House have joined the Federal Reserve, the country's central bank, in trying to lessen the economic damage from the coronavirus pandemic. The big focus here is on a stimulus package, a massive plan of government spending intended to stimulate the U.S. economy. How massive? The Senate deal, which is supported by the Trump administration, is worth $2 trillion. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell described it as a wartime level of investment for America. Here's what the money would be spent on. $500 billion would be intended to help big companies get through this coronavirus pandemic. $350 billion would be in loans for small businesses in the hopes it'll help them stay in business. $250 billion would be given directly to American taxpayers in the hopes that they'll spend it. But those payments would only go to individuals who earn less than $99,000 a year or couples who earn less than $198,000 a year. Hundreds of billions more would go to help hospitals, Americans who've lost their jobs, and state and local governments. The agreement would still have to be passed by the U.S. House of Representatives before it goes to President Donald Trump's desk for signature. So the bill is not finalized, and it's not clear how long that'll take.
Okay, so let's talk about that. That was a big deal yesterday. It has passed some levels of government for the stimulus package. What a stimulus means is to kind of grow, help your plant grow, help your brain grow. It stimulates whatever it's working towards. So for the stimulus package, you guys are stuck at home, just like I'm stuck at home. All of the businesses in the area have been told to close. So those businesses are struggling. They still have to pay the rent. They still have to pay their distributors. They still have to pay for their lights and their water. So even though they're shut down, they're still spending money. So this bill will help our American economy, which our economy is all the small businesses, all the small restaurants, all the big businesses and restaurants. This stimulus package will help those who are affected by this most. And then on top of that, if President Trump signs it, they will be sending out stimulus packages to adults in the United States to help with some of those people that are not working. I know some of your parents probably are not working now, and it'll really help to kind of deal with bills and things like that. So it's a good thing.
But the news of it was welcomed on Wall Street. After setting several records for single-day point losses in recent weeks, the Dow Jones Industrial Average of 30 important stocks set a new record on Tuesday for its biggest ever single-point gain. Will all this shorten an expected recession?
So what's the difference between a recession and a depression? It comes down to how long the economy contracts. A recession is typically defined as 2 negative quarters of economic growth, and it's part of the normal business cycle. The U.S. economy has fallen into recession more than 30 times since 1854. A depression is something vastly different. It happens when the economic decline is sustained and might potentially go on for years. Now, that's only occurred once in American history in 1929, and it lasted 10 years. Because it lasts so long, a depression is more severe. A decade ago, unemployment hit 10% during the worst of the Great Recession, but during the Great Depression, the jobless rate peaked at nearly 25%. The reason economists are so worried this time, we just don't know how long we'll be fighting this virus. We don't know how long stores will be shut down, how long travel will be paused, how much damage will be done to supply chains, or how many companies will go bankrupt. But there is hope if you look to history. The recession that followed the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic lasted just 7 months. That's much shorter than the average recession. Let's hope this time history repeats.
So with the stock market, it goes up and down, and that's okay. With all the businesses that are having to be closed, travel is closed, airports are closed, boats are closed. It's making it difficult for products to be sold, purchased, anything. So they're hoping that with the virus being here and everything being closed, not only maybe the stimulus package will help, but also that it will help with keeping the recession and not creating a depression.
As coronavirus spreads, people across the country are stocking up on essentials, and one essential in particular, toilet paper. It's sold out in stores across the world and has become the ultimate symbol of panic buying. There was even a toilet paper robbery in Hong Kong. But are consumer fears of toilet paper running out grounded in reality? Not really. Let's start at the beginning. Toilet paper is made mostly from tree pulp sourced from the US and Canada. The pulp is turned into large rolls of paper called parent rolls, which in turn are used to make a variety of paper products. For paper manufacturers who run on fixed capacity, it's hard to increase production quickly. One thing they can do is to switch from making a less in-demand product like paper towels to more toilet paper. But most people are not using toilet paper any more than normal. The average American uses between half a roll to just over 1 roll a week. Let's assume that demand normally remains constant throughout the year. That means people are stockpiling. And when the panic buying stops, sales could fall as people go through their stashes. Many industries like electronics and pharmaceuticals have complicated global supply chains facing issues with materials, production, and shipping because of the coronavirus. The toilet paper industry, with its comparatively simple supply chain, should be able to weather the virus more than most.
10-second trivia.
So I know toilet paper has been a big issue. I've actually given a couple rolls away in my neighborhood. People are stockpiling toilet paper. You'd think they would stockpile soap and laundry detergent and 409 or Fabuloso. But no, it's toilet paper. So, but hopefully, as the lady said in the video, the toilet paper industry will not be affected by the virus.
Which of these cities is located the farthest south? Nome, Alaska, Juneau, Alaska, Helsinki, Finland, or Reykjavik, Iceland?
What do you think, guys?
Of these cities, the Alaskan capital of Juneau is located the farthest south. But it's still far enough north that during the summer, the sun rises before 4 o'clock a.m. and sets after 10 o'clock p.m. It is the northernmost U.S. capital city. It's also the biggest U.S. capital in terms of land area. So with all that extra space and all that extra daylight...
So think about that. It rises at 4 a.m. and doesn't set till 10 p.m. That's a long time of daylight hours. You guys would have to have some serious blackout curtains for that. And that's because they're closer to the top of the earth.
Don't you know we're taking a tour of Juneau as part of our new partnership with CNN Travel. Here's a look at a city named for one of the men who discovered gold there in the 1880s.
Nestled along Alaska's Inside Passage, the capital city of Juneau sits as the gateway to the last frontier. Accessible only by boat or plane, this city of 30,000 offers visitors the distinctive opportunities of a major city and the remote wilderness.
Among all the destinations in Alaska, Juneau is really unique because the reasons people want to come to Alaska to see wildlife and wilderness and glaciers and mountains are found right here in our little community, and everything is really close by.
In Juneau, the pristine wilderness is the main attraction. There are dozens of ways for visitors to get out and enjoy all of the natural resources surrounding the area.
There's opportunities to do just about anything outdoors. Whale watching is one of our most popular activities. Juneau has one of the most fantastic humpback whale watching opportunities in the state. Hiking, biking, kayaking, all of these things are opportunities to interact with the wilderness, which is what we love to do here in Juneau.
Juneau is situated in the Tongass National Forest, which dominates the surrounding landscape.
You know, the Tongass National Forest is the world's largest remaining temperate rainforest. And with that environment, even though it's spread out over a huge area, there's some really unique elements here that are very accessible in the city of Juneau.
The proximity of the forest means visitors can trek on glaciers, experience wildlife up close,
Porcupine.
and even do a little mountain climbing. But don't pull out the ropes and harnesses just yet. The Mount Roberts Tramway in downtown Juneau can whisk you up to the top of the mountain without breaking a sweat.
Would you guys like to use the tramway?
Aspects of Juneau is our mountains. We're surrounded by mountains. So the tram was built, and it is a really wonderful scenic way for people to get up into the mountains or nearby and have incredible views of the area that surrounds Juneau.
If you're not the outdoor type, Juneau still has plenty to offer. The city has lots of shopping and a vibrant art scene that can trace its heritage back centuries.
Part of the uniqueness of Juneau's history is that the native culture, the Tlingit Indians, had a beautiful art culture, and they still have that today, and they're developing it. And I think it inspired a lot of other artists to start looking at how to incorporate the really beautiful natural resources around Alaska into their art. And so you'll see a lot of really beautiful art, carving, silver, wood, and I think a lot of the natural resources of Juneau is what inspires our local artists.
The spirit of the city comes from the surrounding wilderness, but the charm of Juneau lies in its people.
You'll see a lot of stores here that are owned by families who have deep roots in Juneau. Their families came here with the original founder families, and they're connected. And people get very attached to Juneau, and they support one another, and it makes it creates a really nice, friendly environment.
For CNN, I'm Holly Thorfer.
That's a big crab.
Before we skip out, we're skipping stones. The Guinness World Record for the most skips with a rock is 88, but it helps if the water is calm and smooth. It wasn't on the shores of Lake Michigan when this competition was recorded last summer, and a new record wasn't set. But a man did manage to skip a stone across the choppy surface 20 times.
20 times?
Some goblets from the Mackinac Island Grand Hotel stuffed with $200. Now that's something to marvel at. The skipper's definitely worth his basalt. He started with a clean slate, took nothing for granted, got ready for a belt sparring match, utterly punished the competition. Hey, listen, skipping stones is hard. It's no wonder the winner is a rock star. Is it any coincidence that the skippers are the mascot of North Kingstown High School? Either way, you guys totally rock in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. I'm Carl Azus for CNN.
All right, y'all. So, what did you think? Do you think the stimulus package is going to be something good for the economy? Do you think it might be something helpful to your parents or supervisors? And can any of you skip rocks? I cannot skip rocks. That looked so cool. 20 times on the water. Wow. Anyway, so make sure you check Canvas for questions, if there are any. Have a great day, y'all.